to go up against over in SEA, but here in the Gauntlet, they just really have not been displaying all that much for us. Now, this is a big lineup for the Wolves. TNK cannot find the initial shot.
And then CDK goes down low on the flip side as Baton able to connect.
So is that it's 4 players basically on the same spot because already one went down. So for OG, if this is a full squad wipe, then it is done for. Luckily yesterday, dropping down quite a bit. That's a nice start for them, but they are up against Marth, who is a pretty mean fella. He's all on his lonesome.
I mean, he's on his own right now, but this is what I was saying.
There for OG. Showing us 3 on the leaderboard, but okay.
I was really low HP on one of the health bars. It always
and it works out. So yeah,
that's Reefus.
I mean, I think that is just Reefus, to be honest with you.
What is going on? Top and Ziola there too. I think they might have just dropped out. Goodness me. Okay,
that's what I'm saying. I mean, they immediately
are going to end up anything over 120. You're looking fairly solid, but that's going to be pretty tricky actually today to make that up from the 70. So maybe we'll see that go a little bit lower.
Oh, take shots, but
he's sighting. We saw just get eliminated. King wants to pull him back up because it's all the way away. Not in this fight at all. It's all up to AJ and Xing if they want to try and find some revenge here. And Scarface nearly goes down to the nade on the corner to make their presence felt on this fight. Scarface Molotov on the door. That's going to force the fight to slow just a little bit, but no. They've got the recalls coming through, so see if they can keep this one going down. We'll have to wait and see how that pans out for them. Kara, they've spotted 1, they've spotted 2. Uh-oh, CEO. I mean, he do so they can break out to a blue zone recall. I think that's what WizGod's going for now.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a bold play from Kara. Absolutely play off the back of this one and get some presence on the northwest side. Good shots from Levi's over towards Virtus Pro. I don't think he realizes that there is a whole assault squad coming through. PMGC no less on Aragon.
Spray downs for Nate, not going to connect for another. Virtus Pro able to get some points earned as they trek on into the west side of the blue zone. Although they have had their fair share of strife.
I think for DX Xavier, they do get...
Virtus Pro no longer playing. APG, in the meantime, up against Regnum Kaya. APG, they're all bunched up in and amongst those crates. You can see a lot of knocks sent their way, and Zedwolf has a brilliant angle, but Zjol, a huge nade over towards Regnum Kaya. 2 of them immediately go down. A rescue mission necessary now. Silas and Zedwolf need to have their teammates' backs, and Zjol gets across a sliver of HP. Healing can be done, and Wild and Loxy are not long for it. That allowed crossing has meant that Regnum Kaya cut in half. A big opener for Zjol.
I mean, this is what allows AVG to make these sort of plays. And I think that the best way to describe it is being quite disrespectful to a lot of angles, to a lot of teams. I mean, making that cross...
Okay here on the bubble. It's pretty unthinkable that they would drop down low enough, fast enough, or rather the other teams around them. Hang on a minute. Tune back in with this fight. APG and Orangutan on multiple fronts here. Doc having a crack at it. Oh dear, that's not gone well for Orangutan. Both of their 1v1s do fall by the wayside. Now Kara, they're still ever present in these engagements. Move up, Poser wants to find Doc, not landing the spray. All right.
Oh my god, this guy's the Matrix, man. I swear, it's Neo. Moves on side, he's still taking shots, gets a good chunk over towards Poser, and he is peeking up and down, left and right. And Nade finally does the trick. Marceau from the sidelines will put the final nail in the coffin there for Doc. Another nade through over towards Top as Top consistently tries to nade out a Tanky.
Last player for OG, and another nade connects. He's still got more. He's very, very focused on this one. I think Kara have smelt something there. They know, why aren't they nading us? What's going on? Must be a guy in that corner house, but see...
North side as well, it's a good idea to get him out of the picture quickly. There's E-Arena though, getting far into this...
And Bulls moving in on the north side. 2 players have gone down. The Wolves, they've been here for a while. You can't just move in and expect to take a building from them. No way, no how, but they still have to deal with Flip, who's doing a lot against them. We'll find nearly 2 doors.
Positive marker for them. And I think for Wolves, this could be a huge deal getting in towards the top 7.
Absolutely. Yeah. champions. Seems to be pretty undeniable on his hold here, but Marceau's going to give it a good go. Stepped up. Yeah, okay. Put the pin back of the nade. Silas, what are you doing? There's a man in your face and you're preoccupying.
In first place now with 123 points. You thought Kara were done yesterday? It's not the case. 11 elims on this game, 123 points. Thunder Talk need to reclaim their position. Alpha 7 is moving up. At the same time, whilst Kara sends grenades over towards Ulf. So this is a very, very difficult hold for Ulf right now. A battle on two fronts.
7 have made the crash actually up towards this hilltop. A difficult approach, but it's been allowed to go through. Nice opener, but they're still playing as 3. Ulf as nades from Kara make Ulf's life harder on this hold. Revel and Guizhou already up, but Obscure is playing anchor. Scarface wants to stop him from doing just that. There he goes with the blue zone at his back, needs to win that spray trade, forces Scarface off the angle, and can't go down to the blue here. Alpha 7 can't afford to lose it, but they do have their side angle taken out, and now it's just the two of them playing in the rocks, looking for something, but no, one of them falls, the next not coming through, and the shotgun starts to rain hell from above. Guizhou not done just yet. He drops for a second, but Soulless on the drop spray is able to find it. Ulf lose one in the process, but they take away a major competitor.
It's a quick finish as well. I mean, they needed that over towards Alpha 7. Yes, they lose one player, but they set up the smokes nicely. Ketch has been waiting for this push for the longest of time, but they just had to do it with 3 on that side versus Alpha 7. It was imperative that they finish that fight as quick as possible. But now Wolves have a massive amount of space to play with on this eastern side.
They can do. Rock's now starting to become a bit of a prison for our teams. As the circle closes, it'll go dead center blank, and that's just on the roadside, right in front of the wall doorstep. And that's what you're looking for. The spray down, Coops and Doran open up the cannons, and there is the backup as well. CEO flushed away, and now it's 2 players for Kara. Looking for Soulless, looking for Aaron, looking to try and stop them from getting anything more done, but no, Kara denied, as it is going to be just 1 player. He hits the deck. Marceau under pressure.
Doran will take down Marceau, and that will leave us down into just the 2 teams. But a great shot from Ketch over towards Doran. The headshot is strong. Now it's just 2 players here, all in the same location. If Ulf can get the smokes down, get up with some utility, potentially there's some good to be done, but only 1 more smoke left in the pocket. No more utility remaining. They have to do it dry here, John.
And they're going to be walking into a wall of grenades as well as bullets as they go on into the fight. They need to beat, and they are playing house right now. The Wolves can construct a compound for themselves with those emergency cover flares, and there is just nothing that they can do about it. The Wolves, the Battle of the Wolves at the end as well. All of the logos repping the dogs, but it is
Eastern Rondo finish. Yeah, right.
Towards the opponent. If you get pressured, I feel like that buggy might just be a little bit of under pressure by DX Xavier and Tony K. He tries to take shots, but doesn't realize the threat is a lot closer to home.
Bit there, actually. And they do continue to take shots from GK across the way. Maybe a little bit overzealous pushing in like that. OG smell blood in the water and will be sending across in the meantime. Get the rundown over towards Paragin. First vehicle elimination of the match. OG does multiple insane grenades he's sent across in this location. So if you're OG, you're going to be slightly worried about those coming towards you.
And he's flexing out to that northeast side of things. Next circle popping in just a few seconds as well for those points as well. If they can steal 1 or 2 away from the fight, or maybe even claim 1 for themselves, that would be great news for their points tally. That fight around the bubble is really important. APG losing Ziol there on the off angle, not going to be able to win that challenge, and Virtus Pro will continue to move through. Leave them in the dust, let the blue zone do the work. The heavy lifting not necessary on their part, but Milky Way is down. I don't think they've got him in a vehicle. I think they've left him behind. Yeah, they're not going to be moving in with 4. So 3 players now for Virtus Pro.
The man on your screen on the right, at least.
Yeah. Yeah, well, maybe they all want a little bit of limelight, and now nobody gets it. It's a not very illustrious performance from APG so far, and they've got GS just over the ridgeline to the front. It's difficult to crest over and take shots down. You expose yourself to so many angles if you're G.
Position to get into. Luckily, the vehicle's already burnt out, so won't be taking too much damage there. Ulf is
to do that, and you're right, with Ulf moving in to their route out into the open, that's going to make things harder, and it means they do need to commit a little bit more to clearing out their south side.
But no massive value found off it is the true issue here for both teams.
get across, but at what cost? Sighting the last player to stand, and then Aid's going to sit him down. Back on. King across the road still has not made that dash. Do Mad Bulls. They have to deal with Kara, but CEO, he's able to claim a point. Looks for more as well. With the auto shot, he pops the reload. Not going to find the nade on in for Pusher as well as they turn the corner. And he gets one. Looks to try and find a little bit more. There's the flush of the Mad Bulls. They're leaking.
CEO once again the big earner on the team, looking to put more points on the table. Nade down the stairs, already 2 found in a 1v4.
CEO, chief elimination of... He is not having the greatest of times. I mean, Mad Bulls, 2 of them, he's already dealt with 2 of them, sure, but that just means that the Mad Bulls aren't going to present as many angles to them. Normally, if you're playing as 4 against 1, you are rushing up those stairs, you're turning those corners. Too many Alpha 7 players littering around it.
Yeah, very concerned about that push from Marth there. I think he's getting a little bit too big for his boots. As they DRX from that top side, DRX opts to head down towards school. Yes, it's a very strong spot, and they do want it. But again, it is crazy to me that Alpha 7 was able to get away from all of this action.
At the moment anyway, but they are right up to the edge of the zone now. Nobody playing the middle because nobody can. It is a death sentence to move out into the open. Alpha 7, probably the team with maybe the best shot taking this one. Them and OG, the 2 teams that are going to have a good time. I'm sort of counting
At this point in time, DRX continues to send outposts forward. Revo goes down, so that's going to delay Alpha 7 quite a little bit.
Ooh, a nade in from Hyunbin and actually coming through the DK as well. Oh, this is nasty stuff. That ridge line, that little valley that sits there. Ooh, AKOP having to reposition. He knows he has to get in because those reses have to be happening fast now. 2 seconds, the zone's closing. They don't have the time to be picking up their teammates here. One of them's already fallen down. AKOP, I mean, committing to this res, I just don't think it's going to happen. WizGod, you have to give it up, brother.
Yeah, again, like I was saying, this is such a horrible rollout for OG. You really can't. I think the fact they held out in this position for so long is already quite admirable. But yeah, as soon as you have to leave from this spot, it's just death.
Piece themselves back together. There's still one more dash in them, but they are trapped now under the watchful eyes of Obscure. The rest of Alpha 7, GK, everybody's going to be looking this way.
Still a 4th place. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. You get far into the game of this one. It's some placement points for your troubles, and I think they're able to pick up a couple of eliminations here and there over on the south side of the map. DRX trapped on the silver side. And this is what I'm talking about. The fact that Geeke's got here, I don't know how it's possible. OG's taken no shots their way, understandably so, because they are struggling themselves at the moment. But yeah, you could have...
Channel their ordnance forwards, nade over to Obscure. That is a big pickup. GK, they've taken down Ulf already this match, so they've got to be feeling themselves. Ragnarok potentially moving into danger there as Rio spots him. And it will be faded away from. The health bar's getting a little bit pink, but it'll be okay for the time being. The reposition is good, and the nade is even better. Carrillo able to land it, tracks the movement well. But there they go. OG standing up, and they spot Nerset. They go for the flush immediately and hit the deck once more, but they will pay the Ultimate Rex moving into position as well. Hyunbin on the back flank to Alpha 7. Misao going down.
No
Carrillo
way,
and the Vigilant finds Hyunbin, but over the top go GK. They look for more. Into the fold they go. Alpha 7 down to 1. The flank out from So Easy looks for a shot on the sidelines. It's not going to connect, and it's GK with 2 versus 1 from Alpha 7, and they shut it all down. GK Thunder Talk. I'm talking about Mad Bulls as well after that game that they just saw. Jumping up over the 110.
Whereas for R8 and Alpha 7, you know, there's steady hands. There's steady hands there.
It's time-tested. Nerves. You'd hope of steel.
God,
Actually cut across Doran. Oh my goodness me. That's got to feel pretty nasty for the Wolves. In 6th place, 91 points. More secure if they will line that edge. Trying to stop Alpha 7 from going through, but they will thrust the tip of the spear. Revo moves on in now. WizGod and a Tanky have to hold strong. They're playing around the hill, around the mouth here. The nades are good. WizGod, if they spot him, Carrillo knows about it now. We'll be able to hear it. The WizGod's quick on the trigger with a pump action. A nade put in through the window, though, is going to make it all harder. As Aru has to step in, and 3 players from Alpha 7 crumble in the face of the hold here from OG. Another player now sends out wide Obscure, the last for Alpha 7, and he's on the hunt. AKOP over the top. top has got the shotty as well as the blue zone to push Obscure out of the zone. It's only stage 3, not the hugest. AKOB, though, takes damage from the zone. And GS are on the north, maybe a third party.
Yeah, I mean, GS coming over towards this one, they can definitely see that there's a fight taking place right now. And with OG taking another knock off that spot, he just saw a player.
You're trying to send on through, and actually don't think that he's going to be able to make that one work. He sends up 2 players from first pro hop out and down. Out.
Looking to move away. That's not at all get swept up. Only 2 players left now for the team. The arena able to profit.
Yeah, the circle on their side. And spoiler to the approach on the northern edge. GS will make out over towards DX. And now in the crash coast, Fast sending straight into the middle. Immediately Paragin puts him down. No threat now, so it's a single front fight. The nade finds Amir as well, and that's a brilliant start to the hold as Levi's turns the corner, and GS are sent spinning here as they try and approach the Xavier's hold. The Xavier, we criticize them for not being able to hold super strong, but maybe that's going to change. Hang on a minute. Ooh, I might have to eat my words because there's already...
Now looking to push down as well. I think they must have heard this, so they are instantly trying to get players back up and healthy so they can try and capitalize off the back of an engagement that just took place. There is a player that only just got picked back up again. That's a Tanky going down to the play zone off in the distance. Nade's been sent down from Ulf as well as APG. Spot that both teams from APG as well as Ulf understood that likely teams are going to go for.
Oh. Yeah, that nade, the double knock there coming. R8 are close by. Amori has moved into position on that north flank. Look at how much he wants to get stuck into this fight. Maybe take a player down, maybe give themselves an opening, because R8 do still have to move.
I mean, R8 could have an equally similar rotate to Mad Bull. Still 3 nades to work with. 2. Nade goes over towards the top window. Paragin's able to dodge that one, so he's able to get that first aid kit off, which is pretty massive for them, getting 2 players back into the fight. But Lemon, once again, so good with the nades.
He's got 2 more still to play with. Nade out through the door. Looks for the challenge. He's got to hold his nerve.
Health pools available to Mad Bulls, but already done a hell of a lot of damage. They need to keep these nades coming so those first aid kits can't keep being applied to the players and getting them back up and healthy. This is good chips.
Of Ulf drew Scarface away, so they are now fighting on that south side, which means you're right, this is going to be a fairly clean fight. Unless that fight on the south side concludes, you can see off in the distance, then things could get a little bit more messy, but wait for the time being. Marth still on that off angle on the outside. Lemon knows exactly what he's playing up against. He's not really able to do too much about it right now.
Flip, taking shots of Scarface again. God, leave this building. Right now, R8 definitely has the advantage because they're playing with a 3-story at their backside as well. So if it came down to it where Mad Bulls are able to get a single knock over towards them, they could always start dodging nades in the 3-story. Loxy, though, finding some shots over towards Sakura. And Murray on the sidelines finds a great shot towards Mad Bulls there, opening up the doorways for the rest of R8 to start flowing through. This isn't before Scarface once again tells Marth that you can't be stepping out on the outside.
There's a big fight happening on the west side as well, Blank, in the picture-in-picture. It's Regnum Kaya fending off the push from the arena. It looked like Regnum Kaya might have had a good time with it, but tried to lose a player or 2. Pusher on the inside here now, though, as we go into the kitchen, looking to try and cook up Unga, but they need a res. They need something else to happen as the Wolves are starting to push on up and fight against DRX on their south. Regnum Kaya have managed to get themselves back up now. They could peek in here. The off angle, the outpost for DRX is their end goal. That's the out in the open, but they've got to deal with Coops first. They'll do it. They'll look for more as well. But they will find everything they're looking for. The Wolves start to fall and they will continue to tumble. 7th place, no elims there. Not able to keep things going. For DRX, this is great news. Oh, that 7th place bubble, they're looking to solidify themselves. But Regnum Kaya, they want to extract points from this region. 5 elims found and they want more as they move on in from that western edge.
Oh my god, the tracking on that was crazy. Royal Mail first class. That is some...
On their northwest side, DRX really now penned in. Kaisei can't do a thing about it.
I think for DRX, they are going to struggle to get out right now. We'll push a little further up here to get some information off the back of it. Doc will pick a player out the back of the buggy, immediately steps back down again. Again, this is where I want to see Doc respect this angle a little bit more. needs to potentially leave. This could be a decent...
That central player. That Wolves did get knocked and flushed there, leaving just Loxy for Regnum Kaya on that north side. There's that knock over towards DRX. The question is points. 5 teams remain now, Blank. What can teams extract from here?
There's no way he would have made that aggressive push back that way. I'm not sure. I couldn't give you the specifics, but it's just frustrating to watch that. I mean, we just talked about it. But now APG down to just 3 players. But for R8 as well, even if they get 3rd place here, it's not a huge amount of eliminations, but that should be here in the top 7, I would say, at this point in time. And how Ulf looks to readdress the circle. R8 still slinging on both sides here. And Murray and Prestige playing both corners.
They regroup though. An immediate send back in. No hang on just yet. APG and Ulf holding each other in a stalemate on this big flat plateau that sits in the middle. The nade is good from Amori, and that catches Yol. Alpha Gaming getting rid of that roadblock for Ulf might actually allow them to push across more effectively. R8 may have just unwittingly...
The entirety of the northern edge. Aaron picks up another for his troubles and now sees Doc as well. That's 15 Eliums. They can just clear out the last 2 players from R8. It will be a 27-point game, which will shoot them soaring towards the top of the tables here, John.
He'll be over that 100-point mark if they're able to do it, Blank, I think. Very, very close. It might just be...
Players and taking one-on-one fights with some of the best players in the squad. And Scarface on those incredibly long angles, causing casualties towards teams that might have assaulted them later in the game. It's just nice to see all finding their rhythm.
Absolutely. And a second Turkish player up there with them. With a lackluster performance so far, They weren't able to convert on this game, but there's an answer. Amori doesn't want them to go any further. Draws a line in the sand, but he has to pull back as the warpath is being driven right now. Aaron in the passenger seat.
What is this?
Slinging them around the hilltops, but he's going to be pulled out the side. Ketch still sending off across the way, and now they've left themselves in a 1v2 Blank. Ketch has it all to do. He's got 2 nades. He's going to have to try and make them work. Not quite reaching the tree there. Amori low on the HP and Prestige, and Amori with a big chance for RA.
A massive ego challenge in the vehicle. Made little to no sense in here, picking up strong positions. Molotov towards the tree, not allowing a Murray to get too close just yet, but just behind it, he's clear and free. Stun grenade goes out towards Kedge, blasts right in his face, and that's going to delay him. He just has to go blind on this one.
So 1 nade, but he's not going to have any time to play around with it. And that is R8 taking home the chicken dinner against all the odds there.
And further towards the end of the gauntlet. We're starting on a eastern plane path with it. We'll wait for the circle to pop, but it will be our final angle of the day. And it is going to be GS dropping on top of APG. APG with a good start though with the knife. Straight over towards GS.
Between the shoulder blades on that one. Looking to reload the VSS there. It's the only weapon you got. It's what you got to use. Jafar with the pan as well. But turn to the corner. The weaponry superior for APG. It's all up to Jafar to see what he could do. And he M4, sure, but he's also got 4 players from APG to deal with. The question is, are there potential lack of synergy with Zedwolf?
Yeah, but I think that they don't play terribly. It's less of a lack of synergy and, like I said, more of a lack of...
The nurses are going to have to work over.
Murray will find Igors. Yeah, it's not great. And for Wolves' prospects to get into the top 7, it's feeling like it's starting to get dashed a little bit here. These are initial shots from Thundertalk at some incredible distance. All 4 players up. Looking over towards OG, who are...
Aragon have to take flight once more. Milky Way, though, spotted first in his Solus to get the shutdown. Boston as well, taken out, and Ulf really not giving any ground. Malloy, the only one to strike back so far, but 2 players left trying to face off against them. Ulf, a big nade over towards the top there, does actually manage to get the flush, so they've lost the player guaranteed, a point at least. But Malloy, Party make their life a little bit trickier on that southwest side. 3 teams trying to move in from that direction. There's a fight for the center as well. So Reckon Kaya, DRX, gonna clash. It looks like Regnum Kaya lose their east side outpost on that one, Blank.
Yeah, before Regnum Kaya is pretty good.
Now they have E-Arena here. Maybe a couple more points for them. But remember, they're still playing as 3. E-Arena as 4. 30K can't quite connect on the bumper, but will with the shotgun shutdown, and Ketch is next to go. E-Arena able to find 2. Now the last player to stand, it's Eren. The newest addition to the roster here. An Ulf
Spot to play in, especially if you get rocked up on like that. It's one of the few areas in the fields where you can effectively rock up and have some form of cover to work with.
Find that mound that sits there, but with Reckon Kyra on the other side.
Definitive spots on the map, which are very playable.
So, question of who's going to be able to control in these scenarios. Getting a little bit of healing on for Alpha 7 before they make their move. Reckon Kyra a little bit happier. Next zone will come through, really start to cut out some of those points that you talked about before, Blank, as he goes to DX Xavier in that.
7 will take down 1 in Baton. There's still 2 players alive, I believe, for Wolves, and the shots are coming in thick and fast from across the way as APG tries to put up that 15-point average. But good shots coming back from Coops there will shut down at least 1 player from Alpha Gaming.
Mad Bulls have angles from the top of Everest as well, over towards Alpha 7. And this is a firing squad over towards that Alpha 7 position. I'm surprised they haven't all gone to mount the Everest approach. It's not going to go well. They're immediately turned away at the door. And APG, I don't think that they're going to miss that shot onto Aru. No, indeed they don't. And up they push. That's going to be done and dusted.
Yeah, Tanky just has to
tag him on. Gets the burn down. That is going to be Kara down. But again, they've done enough. They don't need to do any more unless they want to chunk out some more of that prize money, which of course is a tasty treat, but as most sights set on the finals. DRX trying to move.
Yeah, it's given them some place to stay though, which is the main thing. I think Mad Bulls would have struggled if not for that. Too late. I think that it was very unlikely for it to head all the way to the top of Everest, but a good push from Mad Bulls down the hill. This is an instantaneous retreat here, and there's some support coming through.
Oh, I think there's another flush coming on in. Alpha 7, I think, busted down to just the 1 player. Thundertalk, by the way, flexed out. They've gone up the side of Everest. They want a piece of this fight. They want to try and jump up back into first place to end things out. We'll see if they're able to do it. Alpha 7 do fall. They get up to 107 total on their game. There should still be enough to keep them ticking over. We'll see what more they can do. The Wolves, who are behind, still on 2 players. Not quite close enough to be worrisome right now. Another shutdown over towards APG in the meantime, though, as DRX are starting to mount their bid for that 7th place spot. With the Wolves falling by the wayside, this is their opportunity.
You're absolutely right. This is DRX's game to get it done right and lock in another one of those positions. They're able to get a chicken dinner. Fortunately for them, the circle moves out towards that western side, giving a lot of opportunity for more points. Is for DRX.
Okay, there we go. Finally, one goes down. It's Lamball to be able to pick that one up. OG eliminated in the meantime. They couldn't survive as a solo there on the roadside. DRX now on the heavy fire.
Another well-placed grenade from R8 will push R8 even further up the tables. DRX sent in, but it's just 1 player, and he will be taken out fairly short in order. That's so easy down. Ida takes a knock, but should be able to be rezzed back up again.
That's just now 1 player left on the back lines for DRX, really. There's nothing more doing. They know he's in the hills somewhere, just the question of where. Prestige is on the hunt. He's scanning that horizon. UXZ to find himself in. And right next to Thundertalk 2, King is there rolling down, spots him, darts out the way. UXZ looks for the challenge, but it is going to be 1 out in the end by Thundertalk. But up steps R8 as he DX Xavier. Looking to keep things under control now. Only got 3 elims on that middle spot, so we'll see what they can do. Rack up some more. A good first pickup. Looking for more damage. They're able to do quite a lot on the approach, and the hop out from Harrigan feels so much more. They've been able to shred through the health bars here, and Nate all too happy to receive them. Open arms to the elimination tally of DX Xavier, and this is how you make your bid for it. E-Arena trying to third party, but there's nothing to third party on anymore. There's nothing being done to DX Xavier on this hold. Lamball's isolated, sure, but with only 2 players on in the intro, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, an incredibly speedy cleanup coming from DX Xavier there. And this is massive news for DX Xavier, just on the cusp of getting in towards that top 7. This could be the game to overtake both Wolves and DRX and gaining a spot in towards those finals. E-Arena make their way up. For APG, for Reefer,
they could have established a baseline across the road, played some of the divots, some of the ridge lines. They tried to commit for a third party, and now they're just going to be taken down one by one to these nades. DXAV have 12 nades on side blank.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. I think that for that comment about saying that E-Arena jumped the gun, I don't think they did. I think they went as fast as they could on this third party. That's probably where things go down, and Reefus will just take a tumble. I mean, he had to move out from the blue. And now it's DXAV, the 4-man versus 1. Yeah. Technically, yes.
It might be the right play, but it's not going to happen. I left to play. It's still not over.
Not just yet, but we are getting in towards our totals.
It is very, very fraught. Several of our teams there.
A result like that is going to be very hard to replicate throughout the entirety of PMGC. Poser. Okay.
How did he dodge?
Every bullet dodged. It is funny that he dodged all the bullets, and then as soon as he gets into cover, he forgets there's a whole damn window there, which is unideal. This is our next zone,
trying to earn as many points as they can. Meanwhile, on the inside of town, it's getting a little bit rough in the top.
So, no. And on top of Profit, GS moving over towards OG's position. Aru in the background right now, watching through, but doesn't have too many great sight lines through the warehouse versus GS. Might need to relocate downwards. There are nades being flung backwards over towards GS. There is some doors that Aru can send to play this.
I mean, we saw Jafar whiff a spray earlier, so maybe they're not feeling so hot. And look at QXZ as well up on the high ground for DRX. Could potentially be a third party there. Spider-Man's playing in Los Leones. Oh no, hang on a minute. Take that back. I hope that's not Spider-Man, because that's looking real Spider-Man. Was it Spider-Man 2, where he loses his powers? It's like that.
Yeah. My boss makes a great point, but
what? Hello?
Dropped down to where we expected the points cutoff to be in 7th.
Wait, who said that?
That's our boss.
Oh, yeah, no. The analyzing lower than average.
Exactly, but again, it's like, I think the variance from Rondo is the weird thing, isn't it?
Yeah, that's true, but...
Yeah.
Okay, fine. All right. Well, let's get stuck into Los Leones, because it seems like DRX and GK both are as well. APG, they still keep getting a point or two here and there, Reefus. They're not making it, They found... Well, they're definitely not making it, Flank. As GK aren't going to be able to find the first peak. They do a lot of damage in the drop down. He looks for it. He's going to be put to sleep there. Nerzed looks to try and challenge up the stairs, but he can't connect.
They're not making it.
They're not going to make it, Flank. It's not happening.
They're not going to make it, okay? We're going to calm down right now, because APG is definitely not getting in. All right?
It's not happening. Look,
they're not getting in. Like, even if they get these nades, they're not getting in.
That's just like, okay, there we go. Right, Verse Pro. Giving us a little bit of a break there, a little bit of a breather. But Reefus and Doc still want more. They're still chewing. See what they can find. In the meantime, OG and GS, the fight is popping off. We saw this established before. It looks like Aru wasn't able to regroup and wasn't taken down in the meantime. So it's only WizGod and AKOP on the inside as GS Sharks swarm around the outside. They need the harpoons out, and they aren't going to be able to find it for one. And the second as well looks good. They're turning the tides here now into a 1 versus 1. It's AKOP versus Jafar. The clutch maestro himself needs to come up big for the squad. 3 players to pick back up for GS, and AKOP's on the corner. He got some healing done with the auto shotty. Jafar's got one of his own, and he turns the corner onto the inside of the building. The vault, a classic for Jafar, and WizGod begging to be picked back up, but he doesn't have the time. AKOP with the pin on the nade over in to Jafar's feet. He sent
to still put a fairly strong fight here to get in towards top 7.
Absolutely necessary for them to be a little bit longer on the pretty neck and neck here, both looking to solidify their position, 5th and 6th on the tables. Paragin tries to step forwards, but Revo has the corner, has the shutdown as well. Carrillo needs to heal, so does Revo, and now the rest of DXAV need to strike, but where are they? Nate T on the upstairs, Lamball's repositioning, and they are going to get overwhelmed if they don't do something soon. Brisal's cut off a little bit from Obscure, but they need to find more now, Blank.
That they do. And I mean, for the time being, this is looking very rough for DX Xavier. Lambor seems to just be sending away, which is the smart decision here, I think. I'm pretty sure for DX Xavier, they realize all is lost in the building. Get Lambor away, potentially get a couple more points, because that's all DX Xavier really needs.
Couple more might do it. Nate goes down. Alpha 7th place still sits at 105. Thundertalk now challenging Mad Bulls on the north side, as they have taken that fight to them, but they don't need to. With the circle popping down to the south, they could disengage with that knock. Now might be the best time, but they've lost one of their own.
And in shots over.
Wowee. In the meantime, Thundertalk gonna crash on in. They're gonna get away from the ridge line, but it's not gonna be pretty inside the longhouse there. Steps out into the crossfire. Pusher looks for more, and Thundertalk fall. They will be eliminated here, and the Mad Bulls, again, looking to continue that solidification process. Arena now crashing in to try and third party, but once more, they're just too late.
They're ready for it. Carol continues to be a nuisance on the back end of this fight with some great shots.
Play spot back.
But R8 still in the game and chilling over on the northeast side. OG finally do need to move.
Keep the heads down, away from Regnum Kaya, who have been quiet so far. I've wanted more from them, and they need to do more.
I mean, from the spot they've had, they just really haven't had a chance to take shots to too many teams, and there's no reason for them to get too aggressive at this point in time. Yeah, just start stepping their way in, trying to get in those placement points. So at this point, it would take a miraculous game. Last match, I mean, for DX Xavier being at 105, there's a possibility it's 20 points, right? And a chicken dinner, and OG could pull that off.
Certainly is possible, but a fleeting possibility at best. The Nades start to bombard out and take points away from the lobby, get away from teams that need them. Put them in R8's pocket, why not? Battle for the top of the tables rages on, and R8 do not want to let it slide. Kara denied access. They had it for a moment. R8 being nice on that front, but no, they'll take it back into control. 139 now, neck and neck. R8 win that tiebreaker. DRX crashing in, and it's all up to AKOP to stay alive. Nice. Shuts him down. No dice on that push there. DRX only dribs and drabs, and will be shut down.
Yeah, another point for AKOP here. Definitely been real clutch for OG.
From 9th down to 14th, I mean, I say that with a lot of leeway given to the teams lower down there, but they're all looking to chase and they're all still alive, which is really bad news for DX Xavier.
Yeah, for DX Xavier, it does look worrisome. DX Xavier going into this final match, it's a bit of a difficult run out. Regnum Kaya will pick up the silos.
Flush or two if he can. That would be a successful salvage. Regnum Kaya slam down the hill and immediately into the meat grinder. That should be it. That should be them done and dusted. No chance really of them getting into 7th place on the next match.
AKOP gets 2 on the nade.
Okay.
Over towards Wolves.
Wait, what?
Coops goes down. Did he take them out solo? I think he did.
KOP now has Catch to deal with. He's heard the chicanery around the zone, and all for actually putting a lot of people over in this area.
Very particular teams.
Certainly would. Pro, we're going to try and take down Ulf, though, and that might make it a little bit easier for the teams chasing if Ulf go down, but they're not going to go down without a fight. Surely not, but Catch now the last to stand as they do get torn apart. Of course, it's R8 chiming in. Now up at 145 points blank. They are starting to accelerate away from that top pack that's been...
Have just stayed persistent within the scene, and coming out now just swinging like this is truly incredible work. Ida will go down to Malloy off a nice nade, but a nade doesn't quite bubble just over the top towards Malloy to get the re-knock. More damage over the top now. These air bursts are pretty good though coming through from VP. That should be the finish on at least one, leaving just Marth now alive behind the rock.
pushes up, needs to get the heal first. Alpha 7 capitalizing. This should be an Alpha 7 chicken dinner. Virtus Pro crammed into a corner here. The numbers advantage is there. Aragon able to do the rest of the damage necessary to take down R8. And maybe Virtus Pro could turn around now. Alpha 7 not fully in position yet, but they will establish as time goes on. Greville steps up, and he will be able to find it first. A second with a DPS. No, not quite. But the turnaround for Carrillo is there, and they trade it off. Alpha 7 really want to stay in the top 7. And the match, that's how you lock your spot down.
There's the DPS master at work, gets a knock, and then a massive amount of damage onto the next player as well.
The spot's getting locked in, and it is still a chase for that 7th place spot.
That we're going to see them there, Max.
I'm happy he's using it as a positive force to try and move.
Slot being available does make this different to what we've seen from them in the past couple of games. But AKA OP, I imagine he's feeling the high after that.
His teammates now moving up, using that covering fire to establish a little bit more of a forward position. But the nades from Thunderbolt get to really have an impact. We'll see if that can change. The healing needing to come very, very low. So does King as well. And Ragnarok does go down, and he has been spotted. Sighting got that healing on board, and now he steps in with a shotgun. We'll see if he can find any more as Nerzed wants to hold behind the corner here. I think he knows about it. Shots raining on through. Ragnarok desperately getting pulled back to his feet. They want to play on his 4.
Exciting as that forward bulwark is basically shielding their path. But it's Wolves and DX. DX targeting the team, directly chasing. Doran's already down. Paragin's on the sidelines, using the vehicle to get more of an approach on this one. Paragin looks to enter. Coops gets knocked out. North America's dreams are being dashed in front of our eyes.
Dastardly DX Xavier on the hunt here. The Wolves are the target, and now just Igor remains. A nade, anything would do it. Virtus Pro might be bearing witness to them, but they will put those nades in the building. You've got to imagine that this is going to be done and dusted for the Wolves. With 4 players from DX Xavier, they'll know who they have on their doorstep. They'll know what is at stake here. They will confirm this. In they go. Lambor in first. Nate D as well. Hopping around the corner. The Molotov to burn them away, and the Wolves fall. They will not find their spot. NA's dreams burnt to a crisp.
DX now only have one other team to worry about, and is DRX. Alpha 7 though, a great initial nade. Swipes away the shield and has kept the Vanguard strong for Thunder Talk for so long, inciting. Rest in hand, we know what a monster this guy can be with it.
You've got Kara, you've got Alpha 7, you've got Thunder Talk, you've got R8 all in this area blank. It's a battle for the top spots. The podium beckons these teams, and they want to fight for it. They're out for blood, and Alpha 7 will be denied. 4th place, not locked in, but they will not be able to ascend towards the top, the more top spots. Let's go with that. Kara going to be trying to change the tune of Thunder Talk and take that second and
3rd place. The one true king does appear here on our screens. It's R8 looking to finish things out in style.
No usurpers here. R8. Look at Reign Supreme, one blank. They're in the similar sort of area. They have to push south as well. Maybe this is their time. Maybe they get a chance to jump up to that podium as well. It would be a real outside chance. U2 split going on. It's risky, but against APG, they've been making mistakes. So APG's mistakes can be capitalized on. We'll have to see how it goes as R8 continue to put pressure on Thunder Talk.
R8 making it look easy right now. The nades flowing through, and Thunder Talk at their wits' end at the moment. But still going strong as Sighting continues to lay out the thunder. And they lay out the red carpet for the one true king. They welcome him into the concrete. And things are certainly going to get hard for R8 now.
A hand extended in greeting to the king. A dagger behind the back, and Thunder Talk go through open ground. Could be interesting. Mad Bulls in and amongst the Thunder Talk players now. 3 teams have tried to take Thunder Talk out from this compound blank. Might be a 4 now. There's AJ once more. No, he's going to get taken down in response. And now it is all up to Sighting. Maybe he moves forwards. Maybe he looks for the flush. Steps in through the door frame. On the outside, the garage door open for him. Pusher. Nade around the corner. And that will be the end of
these concretes. Everyone wants a hand at it. And Mad Bulls now have to be the one to hold on. But the resilience from Thunder Talk was something legendary there. Extremely cool to see. How can Mad Bulls be the one to hold on strong to his position? Sakura gets up on high. Joker takes an outside position. Good high air burst on that nade though.
Does about half HP damage. They're going to have to leave the concretes now. No more fighting in them in about a minute or so because they have to get a push south. Look at the hold currently for OG. DXavier said so many teams committed to this north side flank. It has allowed DXavier to move through a more open ground than maybe they would have expected.
I believe they made that push in the first place. Nice nade from Flip.
Ooh.
Pushes out wide. Will take down Sakura and a good amount of damage over towards Turney K. Now looks to send one in a similar direction. Won't quite make it past the wall though. Obscured by the smoke.
On the corner, turns it. Will be able to find the shot. Okay. The shot to the rooftop as well. Lemon is on the hunt. He's squeezing him. And it is going to be Arena getting shut out of this one.
What a way to finish things out there for Lemon.
EPG moving in towards Virtus Pro. Aragon overwhelmed. A nade from Malloy to get some retribution. Top goes down. Has to crawl around the corner. Milky Way approaching with the pump action. Around the corner. Spots the run up, but he's confused. Doesn't know who to aim for there. And now it's up to Malloy. He's good for it though. He's found two already. The knock on the nade to it started off, and he looks for more, but no. Just at the final turn, Reefus do it successfully. I mean, they didn't even really need to. I think that one was taken away by OG. IPG are eliminated. They will be locked in down at 12th. What more can Regnum Kaya do? They made a huge commit going out there.
I think for OG, it's a nice time to make a flex out. Right down over towards Pusher in the background.
Yes, pretty one that confirm as well. Remember the placement points have stopped.
Whilst that Rez is going through, push up towards the wall side.
Nate hops around. They can't quite find it. Can't really move away from the wall on either front. And they have to just go for these bunny hop shots. All the while, it's actually Regnum Kaya who are rolling on in for the third party onto this backstop fight for DXavier. They're trying to draw their opponent short. And now DX
holds a lot of space on the map. Basically a southeast shift that's going to cause problems for them. That does immediately spawning over towards our route.
Here's the deck going down, and he will get knocked. Is there an answer? Is there anything in response? No, the Groza doesn't connect fully. It's done a lot of damage, but that's not enough. A nade over the top from a tanky. As where is the third parties? I'm watching. I'm waiting for it. But Regnum Kaya holds strong. They back it off, and now OG spotted. Oh no, Zedwolf finds the shutdown, and OG's dreams are dying on this hilltop. They will not be able to make it off successfully. Not unscathed anyway, as Widgod tries to send down in the party bus. One player now standing for OG and DRX. Looking to try and take that 7th place with the points added to their tally, but they only got 2 for this push as AKOP, the last to fade, and they will.
Big moment for South Korea. They instantaneously split.
Margins. The difference is just don't sit there. No more elimination points that they can get. They put them over that 7th place as it sits. 102 right now. DRX need 10 more points. Just getting the chicken dinner would be enough. Any elimination gets them one step closer.
It is the battle between the south and the north here. Regnum Kaya begging for a southern shift or even a central one would support.
They have managed to get it, and DRX have to move. They have to find something here. Hops out of the vehicle, uses it as cover. They're getting backed off, and the backlines are supporting this push forwards. But how far can they even go here? The off angle for Regnum Kaya. They're playing this like they play their river split, playing off one another. And the angle's finally starting to come together for them. It's too late for them, but they might be able to ruin DRX's approach.
DRX were on 103. They needed 112 plus to take this game. Not only that, they wouldn't win the tiebreaker, I don't believe.
They're actually against DXavier. They have more placement points. Oh no, it's the other way around. I was looking at the wrong column. You're right. They need to go clear, and they're on 102 right now, blank. So they need 11 more points. They'd win it on a chicken dinner because the tiebreaker would be 1 because they get 2 chicken dinners rather than 1.
Yeah, but if they got the chickens,
for instance, they would get 10 points and they would be on a tiebreaker. But that's we're getting into some real hypothetical ground here for DRX as they need to make it a reality. And I think that's going to involve taking a shot or 2 at their opponents. As Regnum Kaya have to fend off 2 fronts.
It knows there's players there. Loxy moves out on a very, very long angle. Nade not quite far enough. Tunica will move with the blue. Good movements there coming through from them. Silas got a little bit of a shot in, but it's not quite good enough. DRX, but that's a big nade. Zedwolf has to immediately send across, but it looks like he's just going to regroup with the rest of the team.
With the time that you have, or rather don't.
Okay.
That's going to be huge, and that movement was spotted. DRX moving in. They're making their move now, or their 7th base spot, and they're not finding it blank. It's all falling down. It's all coming. No way! Ash in their mouth, but Kaisei stays alive. Regnum Kaya, they're getting shut down. Wild now, the player underneath the bridge, needs to still have a player out in the open, and with 2, they can make it work, but Wild's still going. He's still trucking. The healing went through, and Kaisei falls. 1 player now for DRX to stay alive.
1 player versus the world. Tunica is down. For DRX, QXC has to put on a performance like no other. He's 1 HP in the meantime. 1 more shot, but a great headshot comes back his way. Hiding behind the bush, and it won't happen as Zedwolf manages to thread the needle. And Regnum Kaya will take the chicken dinner, and DRX do not make it. DX Xavier, hold on.
Seen so far, will be seen again in the group stages. But you can see it's even harder on DRX. They knew they had it within their grasp. They saw DX Xavier go down early.
Oh my goodness. That's all it took. Literally, if they would have got the chicken dinner, they would have made it straight to the grand finals. I'm telling you guys, that's all it takes, right? 1 little tiny mistake, and it'll get
Going in the next stage because, man, an aggressive CEO from Team Kara. Congratulations, 38 eliminations.